Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making the simple bell animation in Figma. So if I restart the prototype here, you're going to see what you're going to learn. So we're going to make this notification bubble appear and bounce coming in, and then we're going to go ahead and have that bell move like it's chiming. And let's get started. So go ahead and open up a new Figma file, and let's start with a frame. You could either select this icon in the top left or use the hotkey F on the keyboard. Then I'm going to make my frame about 800 by 600. And the first thing we're going to need will be that bell icon. So let's go ahead and make that. Let's start with a rectangle. And let's see. Go ahead and make a rectangle here, and then we're going to add a stroke to it. Let's make the stroke about, let's take it about 7, and make sure this is selected to outside. Go ahead and select your rectangle, click enter, and we're going to select these two dots in the top left. Go ahead and select shift on the keyboard so you can select both of them. And we're going to round out these corners. Now we're going to grab another rectangle here. Add our stroke and make sure it's 7, and back on the outside. Let's see. Round off these corners. Make this a little bit smaller. Let's go with 90. And let's make this height a little smaller too. Go ahead and select both of these and make sure they are horizontally aligned. Let's see, that looks good. Go ahead and select both of them, and now we're going to go to our union selection at the top. All right. Let's go ahead and fill this with white. We have our bell almost done. We need the little chime in the center. Let's go ahead and grab our pen tool here. Make sure this also has a stroke of 7. And then we'll add a third point in the center here. Click done. Enter, pull this down a bit, round it out here. Go ahead and highlight it, and then we'll mark the ends as rounded. Let's see, we'll just shape it a bit more. That looks good. We'll also make sure these are horizontally aligned. Move this up a bit more. And now we have our bell icon. I'm going to go ahead and create another frame here. Let's see. Make it about 166. And we're going to go ahead and grab our bell and bring it onto this frame instead. Make sure it's centered within the frame here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this into a component. Make sure the frame is highlighted and click Create Component. And we're going to start with creating a variant. So we're going to start with 2 variants here. The first thing I'm going to show you now is how to create that bouncy notification badge. Okay, so go ahead and click F on your keyboard. We're going to create another frame here. Let's make it about 100 by 100. Go ahead and select ellipse, and we're just going to make a small circle and bring it in the center here. Whatever color you want your notification badge, go ahead and select it down here. I think I'm going to do more of a red color tone. Kind of like that one. And again, we're going to select our frame here, click Create Component, and we're going to add another variant here. Now this one we're going to change a bit, so go ahead and select that ellipse in the second variable frame and make it a bit larger, and try to make sure it's centered within this frame. Now go ahead and select text at the top, or you could hit T as a hotkey on the keyboard. And I am going to make it so that we have one notification. So we'll bump up the font a bit. So I'm going to select a different font here, like Avenir. Let's give it a thicker look. We'll change it to heavy, and let's make the fill white. All right, go ahead and select your first frame here, and we're going to jump into prototype mode. And we're going to grab our selection here and bring it to our second frame here. We're going to change this to on delay, or after delay. We'll make this 1 millisecond. Change this to smart animation. Go to bouncy. Awesome. And let's go ahead and rename this component as badge notification. So what we're going to do now is go ahead over into your assets panel. We're going to grab our badge notification and pull it into the second frame here on this bell. Let's see, we have our white frame here. So let's go back here and let's hide the fill. Let's see. I think that would be a good place to start. All right, so go ahead and select this first frame of the bell, jump back into prototype mode, drag it to the second frame, and we're going to have it set to after delay. Let's do about 400 milliseconds here. Make sure it's on smart animation. Only for this one, let's select ease in. Let's rename this component as bell notification. So right now you have two interactive components, and then we have our preview frame here to the right. So go ahead and pull that bell into our preview frame. I'm just going to make it centered here just for personal preference. That's about good enough. And then go ahead and select this frame 1. Make sure you're in prototype mode and select flow starting point. So we'll do flow 1. And this is a great way to preview prototypes as you're working on them. So we'll click this little play button here. Awesome. So we have our bouncy badge notification on our bell now. Let's just replay that. I think I'm going to move the positioning up just a little bit. Make sure the frame's selected. All right. There we go. That looks a little bit cleaner. Now we're going to go ahead and make that bell swing. So how we're going to do that is go ahead and select this component, and we're going to go ahead and add 3 more variables here. You could add 1 like that, and then click this plus button for add variant. And what it automatically did, it saved that same preset. So let's just get rid of these, select them and click delete. Delete. Okay, so you should only have this one interaction from the first frame to the second frame right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and jump back into design mode. Hold down Command on your keyboard to make sure you have the bell selected, or you could jump over to your layers panel and make sure you have both the vector and union selected. And we'll just go ahead and turn the bell a little to the right. And just to create that animation effect, go ahead and select the vector here. And we'll make it look like the chime inside the bell is swinging with it. So we'll just pull it down over to the right here. And we're going to do the same thing now with this fourth frame. So go ahead and select Command, highlight that bell, only this time we're going to have it swing over to the left. I'm going to select this vector here. Again, just using the arrow keys on my keyboard, I'm going to move this little chime to the left. And now we're also going to grab our badge here. Click Command C on your keyboard to copy, and Command V to paste. And let's bring it up to the top left. Let's make sure the frame is in the same positioning as the badge above it. So if I select this frame and click Command on the key, or click Option on the keyboard, I see the frame's about 16 pixels from the top of it and 66 pixels to the right. There we go, 16 from the top of the frame, 66 to the right. We're gonna bring this and do the, and now we're gonna do the same thing with the other bells here. Yep, 16 from the top, 66 to the right. Last frame, 16 from the top, 66 from the right. So go ahead and jump back into prototype mode and go ahead and select this second frame here. We're going to drag and pull it over to the third frame. We'll put after delay. 800 milliseconds is fine. Let's make sure this is set to Smart Animate and then ease in. Let's go ahead and select the next frame. Go ahead and pull that to the fourth frame. Make sure it's after delay, only this one. We'll just change this to 1 millisecond here. Smart Animate and then ease in. Go ahead and grab the fourth frame to the fifth. Change this to after delay, make this about 1 millisecond, Smart Animate and ease in. And then we're gonna have this bell continue to chime. So we'll grab our fifth frame here, pull this, and then let's just bring it back to our third frame right here. And we'll have it set to after delay. We'll have the restarting of the chime be a little slower, so let's keep it at 800 milliseconds, Smart Animate, ease in, and then 300 milliseconds here. So let's see how that looks right now. Because it's a component, it should automatically update to it over here. Let's preview it. And it looks like we have our bell animation. So I just want to make one tiny update. I'm going to go ahead and grab our bell here one more time. It looks like it's tilting a little too far to the left. I'm just going to move it a tiny bit. And then one more thing. I think I'm going to change this to on click so that we can start the animation when we want. So let's go ahead from our first frame to our second. We're going to just change this instead to on click. And now let's go ahead and preview our final animation here. And now that we changed it to on click, let's go ahead and start this prototype. And there you have it. You just made a notification bell animation in Figma. If you'd like, I have the source files available down in the description below, and I hope you like this video. If you learned something new, go ahead and give this video a like for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one.